TOEFL Lesson Unit 1A. Objective: to be able to understand and use 21 academic vocabulary words in reading, speaking, and writing tasks related to TOEFL. Introduction: the keys to a successful TOEFL. Know what to expect during the test. The following videos give a short overview of the test itself and how you should set up your workstation. The links are in the description. Don't worry about being absolutely perfect. Americans do not speak with perfect grammar. There is the basic structure to adhere to. However, giving intelligent and thoughtful answers to questions is far more important. Training the brain to think in English. Whether you are studying for the TOEFL or simply learning how to be a better English speaker, it is impossible to memorize all the necessary vocabulary and grammar structures needed for success. However, there is good news. In our class, you will be training your brain to prepare for a successful experience. Like any other part of your body, the brain is also a muscle. You will be an English brain athlete. Brain practice. When you watch YouTube English videos, listen for articles such as and, the, and also phrasal verbs and expressions, and also take notes in English. Vocabulary. The slower you work, the faster you will learn. This is true about learning new vocabulary. Instead of memorizing new words, think of how you will use them instead in a real-world situation. Next are 10 of the most common vocabulary words used in the TOEFL exam. This may initially look overwhelming, but do not worry about memorizing them all in one day. The process is to train the brain to recognize and know this vocabulary when used in context. Helpful tip: when studying vocabulary and also when learning a new story, try to create a picture in your mind. For example, commodity is about raw or organic materials. Picture in your mind what wheat would look like on a farm or how silver would look like in a mine. During a story, see the people in your mind. How do they feel? What are they doing? As you study the vocabulary, make a connection with an image or memory or event in your mind. Repeat after me. Commodity, exploit, cultivate, demise, prosperity, decade, alteration, intermittently, extensive, sophisticated. By the end of the lesson, you will have read, discussed, and written about the words in context, improving your TOEFL readiness. You are great! Now let's see how we will use the vocabulary in the next section. Warm up. What is a valuable commodity in your country that people trade or depend on, such as oil, rice, technology, tourism, etc.?
Today I want to tell you about a historical event in the United States called the Dust Bowl. It took place during the 1930s, mainly in states like Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, and Colorado. Farmers had cultivated the land extensively, planting wheat year after year without letting the soil recover. At first this brought prosperity. Wheat became a valuable commodity, and many families experienced financial success. However, the success did not last. The soil became weak, and when a series of mild droughts hit the region, the land could no longer sustain crops. Eventually, the droughts grew drastically worse, and strong winds blew away the dry soil. Massive dust storms covered towns, destroyed homes, and resulted in the decline of entire communities. This period became known as the Dust Bowl. Families were forced to retreat from their farms, many migrating west to California in search of work. The government eventually intervened, teaching farmers new ways to cultivate the land and tolerate changing conditions. The Dust Bowl is remembered as a lesson. Relying too much on one commodity without caring for the environment can result in disaster.
The rule of one. When answering a question, there is little time to describe your answer. Therefore, remember the rule of one. Only use one example to describe your response. In the TOEFL, you'll have 45 seconds to discuss your answer. Therefore, let's practice. Describe a place in your country that has experienced industry growth. Use 5 target words. Good job today! You may email your answers to this lesson to mashelleybooks@gmail.com. I am here for your success. Have a great day.